ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the app. LAFC hosts the Sounders. It's win or your season's over in the Audi MLS playoffs. Our weekend Monday Night Football matchup, the Dolphins are looking for a little Fitz magic when they take on Juju Smith-Schuster and the Steelers. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and the app.
Two-run home run for Yordan Alvarez.
High and deep, that's got a chance. Score! Carlos Correa with a two-run shot.
The Houston Astros are one win away from a championship.
What a turnaround for Houston. The Astros lose both games in Houston to start the World Series, but storm back 3 straight wins in Washington and now can close out the Nationals tomorrow night in H-Town. Here to break it all down, Jessica Mendoza.
Yes.
Always good to see you.
Folks.
Yes,
Finally.
we do. We're always happy when you're here with us. Start off great for the Nats. Now on the brink of elimination. Is it over?
No. We're going 7 games. Like, I'm just putting it out there because I'm a baseball fan. I wanted to go there. But, I mean, all the attention that Justin Verlander and Garrett Cole get, Stephen Strasburg is here in the wings for Game 6. Like, I mean, this is a guy that will take them to Game 7. As good as Verlander is, as good as Cole was in Game 5, this is going 7 games. Nats have been a team that have showed that resistance. I mean, sure, they started the year 19-31. Do you remember in the wild card game when they were down 3-1 in the 8th? How about the Dodgers, Game 5, down 3-1?
Resiliency.
Team of destiny.
Jessica, first of all, thank you so much for the marvelous work that you do. And I hate to disagree with you, but it's a wrap.
Let's go.
It's over. Okay.
It's over?
Verlander, listen, how many subpar performances do you think you're gonna get to rely on from Verlander? It ain't gonna happen. It's a wrap. To lose 3 straight and for Scherzer not to be available because of neck pain, back, whatever the hell.
But you got him for Game 7.
Excuse me.
That
Are
was
you
a killer,
sure?
though.
Are you sure?
Well, he couldn't get dressed, so there is that.
He couldn't get dressed.
That was a killer for the Nats. That was a
killer. You're demoralized. Here's my thing. Here's my thing. I'm looking at Houston right now. How did it change around for them? Because they looked so anemic compared to what we're accustomed to seeing from them in games 1 and 2. And Cole and Verlander lost those games. How were they able to turn this around?
Yeah, it's interesting because as much as Cole Verlander will give them so much of the credit, it was actually Zach Greinke, a guy that the New York Yankees, for those that are fans of that team, didn't go out and get the right starting pitcher to be able to take them over the hump. This Astros organization has done it with Verlander, has done it with Cole. Greinke, even though he hasn't been perfect in the postseason, he was pretty darn close to it in that Game 3 to do enough to be able to quiet the Nationals' bats that have now stayed quiet. It was Greinke that got him there, and this was the big move. They don't have Zach Greinke, which they didn't before July. They don't make it this far. So as much as Cole and Verlander have gotten the attention, they got the 2 losses. They needed an ace to start it all over, and they got that with Zach.
Yeah, it kills me that the Yankees, every time they target an ace, they're not willing to pay the price.
Never.
The Astros
I had
are,
to get the Yankees
and the
in this
Astros.
conversation.
Yeah, look, of course. But I want to ask you about these Astros because when I look at this team, everyone hits for power and puts the ball in play and plays defense and can play multiple positions. They got a real bullpen. They have big game pitchers up and down the rotation who are also aces. Jessica, when I look at this team, whether or not they win this series, this is a candidate for best team over the
Not only is talented, but they've gotten even better since they won it 2 years ago.
We don't even think of Correa, like guys like who were, this might be the best prospect in baseball. And then he panned out to be as good or better than we thought. And we don't even think about them because there's so many of them on this squad.
There's a ton of them. And they missed on 2. They missed on 2 1-1 picks that never even made it to the bigs. Think about that. Think about how much better when the Mark Appels could have made it into the big leagues and never did.
This conversation is actually hurting my feelings because there's no exaggeration. From last Saturday when Altuve smacked that game-winning home run off of Aroldis Chapman, I have watched that 55 times. It hurts me that much, but I can't stop watching it because it was such a great. It was because it was such a great call by Joe. But Altuve has sent the Astros. I mean, it just kills me. But having said all of that, if Strasburg pulls this off and saves them for Game 6. My attitude is Houston could be in trouble. If you're going to close the Nationals out, it must be in Game 6. To that, you say what?
Stephen A., that's why this has become a series. It's not become a series because the Astros have now gone 3-2. It isn't that. It's the fact that we now hand the ball over to Steven Strasburg and Justin Verlander for that Game 6, which is the series. Game 6, it's win. You win that game, you win the World Series.
And the story for Strasburg's so interesting to me because it's kind of like KD. I said now that if he's never the same but wins a championship, it's the best thing he's ever done. Strasburg came into the league like King Felix. Like, this guy has the
If you the Yankees, what do you do? Cole, Verlander, do you pay over $200 million to get one of them? What do you do, Jessica?
Go get Steven Strasburg, who's going to opt out of his deal at the end of this year. And I say you get him, and I believe that he could be better than both of those guys, and especially because of where he's at. They win it all this year. I'm going Strasburg, and I believe
Do you give him over $200 million?
Yes.
Well,
Are you kidding me?
the more things change.
Unfortunately,
You're the Yankees.
Jess, you're just going to have to come back.
Yes, that's
All
right.
right, we
Big
gotta
game
leave it
starting
come
pitching,
back,
all right?
but I don't know about the $200 million price tag. I don't know.
Jessica
I don't
Mendoza,
know.
thank
Do
you
you wanna
kindly. Game 6 tomorrow
Yes,
in
I do.
Houston. Tom Brady done in New England. Do not miss what Max Kellerman thinks is going on with Tom and the Pats. He's got an interesting theory. Second hour, first take, coming up next.
I'ma keep going. You cannot blame much. Never look back. I would never change.